from City Hall. I am Councilwoman Nikki Nice representing Ward 7, and it's all about transit. Get your transit on. So we have Mr. Jason Ferbrache with us. He's the Director of Public Transportation and Public Parking, EMBARK. Is that what we say? All of that in one sentence. So you have a lot of responsibility, but the first thing I want to talk about is half-price transit passes that are coming up. And a lot of people see the buses or see public transportation, but this is now the time for us to take advantage of that. Talk about just that half price and what that looks like for our community.
Yeah, thanks for asking about that. Yeah, so in December, the first week of December, we're going to have a half price transit pass sale. So yeah, that's the time if you're thinking about trying transit or you're a regular customer of ours and you use transit on a regular basis, now's the time to buy your pass. All of our passes will be available half price that first week of December. And, hey, it's the holiday season, might be a good little stocking stuffer or gift for someone a half-price transit sale. Gets them on the bus, the streetcar, whatever mode they choose.
I like that. Now, talking about transit, I know there's a lot of innovative things that we are expecting when it comes to Oklahoma City, and myself traveling outside of Oklahoma City and just seeing different options of transportation. What are we looking at as far as what's to come for us?
Yeah, we have a lot of exciting things coming in the way of transit in Oklahoma City. And it's really, when I look to the future and what could be possible with transit, I always look back on what we've been able to accomplish incrementally over the last few years. And we've been able to do that really through working our various transit plans and concepts and projects that with the support of the COPA trustees and the city council, we've been able to move forward. And so it's really put us in a position, looking even further out into the future and the possibilities of MAPS 4 and our transit proposal that was included in MAPS 4. Lots of new things in the areas of transit for Oklahoma City. Bus rapid transit is probably one of the most exciting projects that we're contemplating. We're currently in design and construction of our first bus rapid transit corridor.
Will you explain more of that?
Yeah, so bus rapid transit, and it's exciting because it's a brand new mode to our community, is a bus service with very high frequency, the type of frequency you would associate really with our downtown streetcar, about every 12 to 15 minutes, a bus coming by. The trip time is a lot faster. The bus actually arrives and picks up passengers at an elevated stop platform with real-time arrival information, covered shelter, level boarding. The vehicles themselves are usually a little bit more modernized. They have high back seats, USB chargers and Wi-Fi, those kinds of things. So it really is, an advanced mode of transit, particularly for our community. And so looking at the project we have now, again, designing bus rapid transit for Classen and Northwest Expressway, we're looking to leverage what we're learning and the excitement we see within the community for that project into MAPS 4 and looking at some additional BRT serving the northeast part of Oklahoma City, the Innovation District and Adventure District, and then also looking at possibilities for BRT to the south, serving Capitol Hill and on further to trip generators on the south side of the city. So that's some really exciting stuff we're looking at for transit. But technology, we live and breathe technology every day, and technology has a huge impact on the transit industry as well. So we're also looking to leverage traffic signal priority, something we learned with the streetcar to help us be able to keep our system on time and more reliable and really safer for that matter, is giving transit vehicles, basically a priority at a traffic signal. So
explain that, because a lot of us don't realize when we're at a light and it is one of those streets or one of those lights that is prioritized for the streetcar.
Right. Yeah, and you know what? That's good. If as a motorist you don't realize you're at one of those intersections that has priority, that's a good thing for transit, because that's what we want to do. We want to be able to integrate the transit mode with the automobile and both to work seamlessly. But yeah, it's a really fascinating, interesting technology. Basically what it involves is equipment mounted to like the transit vehicle, the bus or the streetcar, and then some equipment mounted to the traffic signal. and that equipment communicates with each other. So in for example, a bus, the technology would communicate and basically sense when a bus is approaching an intersection. And if the traffic signal is, let's say, green, then the technology will hold that green light longer so the bus can go ahead and move through the intersection. At the same time, if the technology senses the bus is coming and there's a red light, then the traffic signal will go ahead and be shortened so that the bus ideally gets a green light by the time it arrives at the intersection. So again, it's really one of those technologies that helps us have a more reliable transit system and is a better experience for the customer because there's less starts and stops.
So when I'm sitting at the light and I see like a streetcar blinking, like the on my light, is that how I know that it's prioritized? I know maybe that's a secret, top secret.
Yeah,
you probably
no,
don't want to tell, but
no, that's actually that is a type of traffic signal priority that there's some different levels. One is a little more seamless where you don't even have that light and recognize that. The type of intersection you're describing is actually one where the signals for the automobiles are all red at once, and essentially no automobile can move until the streetcar or the transit vehicle safely moves through that intersection. And where you're going to find that the most of the time is in a turning movement. And again, it's just a safety item we programmed into the system.
so now everybody's going to be looking for that light when we're downtown to see
Right.
which one it is.
Right. We hope so, because that alerts people a streetcar is on the move.
That's awesome. Now, as we continue to talk about transit and transportation, I know there are a couple of programs that a lot of people don't realize EMBARK has. One is the Hall Pass for our young people.
That's
and
right.
will you talk about that? And then we also have transportation dedicated for seniors.
Yes. Yeah. So the Hall Pass program is a program we developed working with Oklahoma City Public Schools, and that allows high school students to be able to ride the EMBARK bus system basically for free. They get a free transit pass. And so what does that enable, students to do? Well, just, think about maybe after school work, after school programs, getting students to and from work. Really what we were hoping to accomplish in partnering with the school system and making that pass available was, being able to give students within our school district the flexibility, right? The flexibility and the opportunity to do those things before and after school, in addition to being able to get to school. And then the other side to that is we know that, our younger generation is more inclined to use transit than perhaps, many in our communities. And so being able to, introduce transit to a young audience and allow them to learn the benefits of transit early on, is good for transit overall as we move forward.
All right, and then I think of EMBARK Plus. That's our program for seniors, dedicated bus service for seniors.
Right. We have EMBARK Plus, which is essentially an ADA service, and many of the customers that we serve are seniors, and they usually, it is a service that an individual must qualify for, in that they have some type of disability that may prevent them from riding the fixed route bus, but they can qualify for EMBARK Plus, and Plus does serve all areas of the city, and that's actually what we call a curb-to-curb service. So we will actually, pick an individual or customer up at, their residence, for example, take them to their destination, pick them up, and bring them back home. So we'll do that. But we also have a lot of programs tailored, like you said, just for seniors. And so we do a lot of non-emergency medical trips. We do a lot of routes where we take seniors shopping, We do some trips to congregate meal sites. And a lot of that is possible through our partnership with the Area-Wide Aging Agency and some of the grant funding that we receive from our partner there in delivering those senior services. So thanks for asking about that.
Is there a number any of our seniors would have to call to qualify for that?
Yeah, well, the best number to call is our standard number,
Okay.
235-RIDE. However, if they would like to go to our website, embarkok.com, and look under services there, there's all the information on the senior services. But we would love for them to call and just let us tell them about the programs.
And I've told you this before, but one Sunday I was at church, and EMBARK Plus came to pick up some ladies that that were a part of his route. But they were just excited, and he was so attentive to the ladies. And one of the ladies said, "I call them all the time to come get me." I mean, but it's relationships like that, and seeing people who are confident in the service, especially our seniors or those who need the ADA type of transportation in order to get them from point A to point B. So just thank you for that type of service that we offer. It's just awesome.
And if you think about it, a year or so ago, speaking of, taking our customers to and from church, we wouldn't have been able to offer that service, right? Because it was prior to having Sunday bus service in our community. So with the launch of Sunday bus service came also that ADA Plus service too. So that's great. I'm glad to hear we were able to help them out.
And we're also helping out with our community within Ward 7 when it comes to helping our residents get to grocery locations. So, I'd say thank you all the time, because when we asked you all, what can we do, EMBARK, there was no hesitation. We tried to figure it out all together. So we do have dedicated bus routes, and even now some shuttles that are dedicated for people to realize and see the advertisement that there is a dedicated service.
That's right, and we are glad to be able to be the transportation provider for the community in terms of helping them access groceries. And we have, thanks to partnership with various nonprofits and churches and your leadership, I feel like the community's done a great job in responding, and we're glad to be part of that. With the grocery shuttle that we offer, we do currently through our own EMBARK resources and some volunteers. We offer basically a grocery shuttle from Northeast 23rd and MLK, the Ralph Ellison Library there, to a Walmart neighborhood market. We offer that service on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and the buses run at 10, 11, and 12. And then Saturday, we do guarantee ADA accessible vehicles on that day. In addition to that, we've done some customized trip planning for both routes 2 and 22 to really, particularly if somebody hasn't used transit before, to really give them a sense of, okay, if I want to, for example, start my trip at 23rd and Martin Luther King, and go to a grocery store, what all is involved? Well, you need to allow a certain amount of time to arrive at the bus stop, estimated time while you're on the bus. We make recommendations on about how long your shopping trip should be in order to catch the next bus back home. So we really appreciate the opportunity and like doing those kinds of things in terms of helping people plan their trips.
Now, for those who may have not experienced any type of public transportation, how would they walk through that process just the first time? Can they call the 235-RIDE and get information and instructions on what they need to do? Sure,
yeah, absolutely. We first of all, I would say if you haven't used the bus service before, don't be intimidated, right? It's easy to be intimidated, but don't be intimidated. We provide over 11,000 passenger trips a day, so there's lots of people using the bus system and can figure it out. If I can figure it out, pretty much anybody can figure it out. So but we have customized trip planning tools on the website. So if a customer is very tech savvy and they like using Google Transit, Google Trip Planning Services, we have data feeds that support that, and they can plan their trip that way. If they're the type of customer that likes to talk to someone, especially the first time, being on a bus, call 235-RIDE, talk to one of our customer service representatives, and they'll be glad to assist you with what bus to take and what times to expect it.
Well, I appreciate you for talking with us. Now, what are the social media platforms, websites, and phone numbers?
Yeah, so, primarily, I would direct people to EMBARK OK. That is our website. And then all the social media I guess, handles and such are available there.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we appreciate you and thank you for all you do to help us get through every day. And also, one of the things we forgot to talk about are jobs. We definitely want to make sure we get some more opportunities for those who want careers with EMBARK.
Yes, right. And, thanks for mentioning that, because one of the things we have experienced with our incremental improvements to our transit service, whether it be, the new Saturday service, the new Sunday service, expanding the EMBARK Plus into Sunday, that has created demands for more people, right? More people to help our community move about and get to where they need to go. And it's just amazing when you look back over the last few years, just in terms of bus operators, we went from, needing about 115 bus operators to 160. So that's some very significant growth. And so, when I have opportunities to talk about transit, I always like to talk about transit and jobs and how transit connects people to work. We know, for example, that 45% of our customers use our service to get to work. But to your point, today we can talk about an even more direct connection, and that is that we at the transit agency have job opportunities for people. And they range from bus operator positions to mechanics. We have some planning positions that we're looking for, customer service reps. So, it's a great place to work. It's a great career. Just within the last couple of months, we have literally had the equivalent of 90 years of experience retire.
Oh, my.
Between 3 people, So that tells you the kind of longevity that we see within our organization. People join it and they stay a while, and so between retirements and new service, we could definitely use some new team members.
So they can go to EMBARK OK for that as well?
Actually, they can go to EMBARK OK for that, and then we also have a recruiting website set up, idriveokc.com. So
idriveokc.com.
Yep.
All right. Well, Mr. Jason Ferbrache, representing the EMBARK and the Director of Public Transportation and Public Parking. So we appreciate you again for being with us. And that's going to do it for us. This is City Hall, Ward 7, Nikki Nice. Enjoy your day.